Russia DNA versus Ukraine DNA. What genetics say beyond politics. Two nations, two flags, two modern identities shaped by war, borders, and ideology. But beneath the noise of politics, beneath the headlines in history books, there is something older, written not in treaties, but in DNA. When scientists studied the genetics of Russians and Ukrainians, they didn't find a story of division. They found a story of shared origins, ancient migrations, and biological continuity. A story that existed long before modern borders were ever drawn. Two East European nations. Russia and Ukraine are often presented as opposites in modern narratives, but historically, they emerged from the same ancestral landscape. More than 1,000 years ago, Eastern Europe was home to early Slavic tribes scattered across forests, river valleys, and open plains. These communities were not isolated. They traded, intermarried, migrated, and shared language, customs, and belief systems. The heart of this shared civilization was Kievan Rus, a medieval federation that laid the foundations for modern Eastern Slavic peoples. Long before Moscow or Kiev became political capitals, the people of this region already shared bloodlines. Modern borders did not create genetic differences, they merely divided populations that were once one. Russian genetic profile. Modern Russians are genetically diverse, but their core ancestry is unmistakably Eastern Slavic. Most ethnic Russians trace their paternal lineage to Y-DNA haplogroup R1a, a genetic marker strongly associated with early Slavic and Indo-European populations. Additional influences include Finno-Ugric groups in northern Russia, Uralic and Baltic admixture, limited steppe and Mongol influence, particularly in eastern regions. On the maternal side, mitochondrial DNA reveals continuity. Haplogroups H, U, and J dominate. These lineages have existed in Eastern Europe for thousands of years. While Siberian Russia shows greater genetic variation, European Russia remains closely aligned with Ukrainian and other Eastern Slavic populations. Ukrainian genetic profile. Ukrainians share the same Eastern Slavic genetic foundation. Like Russians, Ukrainian males predominantly carry Y-DNA R1a, significant presence of I2 linked to ancient European populations, smaller frequencies of N1c. Mitochondrial DNA patterns mirror those of neighboring Slavic populations. Haplogroups H, U, and J dominate. Ukraine's geographic position introduced minor regional influences. Western gene flow from Poland, southern steppe admixture, limited Balkan and Romanian influence. Yet, despite these layers, genetic studies consistently show strong overlap between Ukrainians and Russians, especially in central and eastern regions. The genetic findings. When genetics removes ideology from the equation, the results are clear. Russians and Ukrainians share most major haplogroups. Genetic distance between them is very small. Differences are regional, not national. Genetics does not support the idea of separate biological origins. In fact, the genetic variation within each country is often greater than the variation between them. Science reveals what politics often obscures. Modern identities are recent. DNA is ancient. Ancient migrations. The shared genetics of Russians and Ukrainians were shaped by movement. Between 1500 and 2000 years ago, early Slavs expanded across Eastern Europe. River systems like the Dnieper and Volga connected communities. Trade routes encouraged intermarriage. Steppe nomads introduced minor genetic layers. These migrations didn't replace populations, they blended them. Each generation carried forward a shared biological story. Cultural and biological parallels. Genetics and culture evolved together. Shared traits include physical features common among Eastern Slavs, cold climate genetic adaptations, similar agricultural traditions, shared foods, folklore, music, and social customs. Even when languages diverged slightly, the people remained biologically connected. Culture may change. DNA remembers. Scientific conclusion. Genetics does not recognize borders. It does not take sides. Science shows Russians and Ukrainians are genetically very close. Their differences are historical and political, not biological. Shared ancestry cannot be erased by conflict. Eastern European DNA tells a story of unity, migration, and continuity, a reminder that beneath modern divisions, humans are far more connected than separated. Final thought. Politics divides generations. DNA connects civilizations. The story written in our genes is older than any border and stronger than any conflict.